All right, today we're diving into a relationship dynamic that's pretty rare and honestly really quiet. We're talking about what happens when two dismissive avoidant people get together. It kind of flips our whole idea of what holds a couple together on its head. So we're going to unpack the architecture of this fascinating but often really misunderstood connection.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the paradox we're looking at. Just picture it. Two people walking in the exact same direction on the very same path. But there's this invisible, unbreachable wall between them. It's a relationship that's literally built on shared distance, a partnership defined by independence.
So, from the outside looking in, this kind of couple can seem like the ideal modern partnership. They often come across as incredibly assertive and self-sufficient. They're proud of being calm, rational, totally in control. They genuinely believe they don't need anyone. But what's really going on underneath all of that?
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. The psychological mechanism that makes this all possible is called defensive exclusion. Think of it like a subconscious bouncer standing at the door of your mind. It automatically, without you even knowing it, turns away any thoughts or feelings that whisper things like, I need you, or I want to be close. It's an incredibly powerful defense that keeps that fortress of self-reliance standing tall. Now, to really understand this fortress, we have to look at the original blueprint. And this isn't a story about some kind of flaw or something being wrong with a person. No, this is the story of a brilliant survival adaptation, one that was forged in the earliest years of life. So how does this actually get built? Well, it starts with a really simple, very human chain of events. A child expresses a need, for comfort, for closeness. The parent, for whatever reason, ignores that need, or maybe even shames the child for having it. And right there, the child's brain does something absolutely brilliant to survive. It adapts. It learns that expressing feelings only leads to rejection, but analyzing the situation, suppressing the need, that's how you get by. And that's it. The core belief is formed. My thinking will keep me safe. My feelings are dangerous. And this pretty much sums up the message, right? Whether these exact words were spoken out loud or just consistently implied through actions, this is the takeaway. It's a powerful command that teaches a child to basically bury their feelings alive and rely only on their own mind to get through the world. So let's fast forward and bring it back to our two partners. How does this childhood blueprint, this deeply wired self-reliance, actually show up in their daily life together as adults? Well, they use what psychologists call deactivating strategies. These are basically unconscious tactics to keep intimacy from getting too close for comfort. This could look like focusing on a partner's tiniest flaw, seeing the worm instead of the whole apple, just to create a reason to pull away. Or maybe they're always idealizing a phantom ex or holding out for some perfect one that never actually shows up. It's all designed to make sure the real person right in front of them never gets too close. So here's the absolute crux of it, the fundamental difference in how they interact. In a secure relationship, the unspoken question behind most interactions is, how can we get closer? It's all about connection. But for two dismissive avoidants, every interaction is more like a negotiation, and the unspoken question is, how do we maintain our space? The entire goal shifts from connection to independence. But here's the thing. That fortress, no matter how strong it is, it's not totally impenetrable. See, the need for connection is still in there. It's just buried way, way down. And eventually, there comes a point where that emotional distance stops feeling like relief and starts to feel like a deep, gnawing emptiness. And that brings us to the pivotal question. What happens when the one and only tool you've relied on your entire life, your rational mind, suddenly isn't strong enough to keep that void at bay? Well, a lot of the time it takes a seismic shock to the system. A major loss, a serious illness, some kind of trauma. Something that completely shatters that illusion that you can handle everything all on your own. This right here is the aha moment, the point where avoidance is revealed not as a superpower, but as a cage. But a breakdown can also be a breakthrough. This crisis is an opening. It's the start of a really courageous journey to start dismantling that old fortress and build a real, true home in its place. And this journey is built on three foundational pillars that lead to something called earned security. So what does that look like? Pillar 1 is positive remapping, literally teaching the brain that closeness can actually be safe, which is a huge undertaking. Pillar 2 is metacognitive skills, learning to observe your own thinking, which is incredibly hard when you've always defined yourself by your thinking. And third, collaborative skills,
learning to actually share your needs directly instead of just withdrawing, which means unlearning that core survival rule from childhood.
And the goal of all this hard work? It's called earned secure attachment. It's this hard-won ability to look at your past with total clarity, to make it part of your story, and then to build relationships that are both authentic and sustainable. It's about consciously giving yourself the care and attention you never got.
When two dismissive avoidants actually go on this journey together, the transformation is just profound. The relationship shifts from two lonesome travelers into a genuine, goal-directed partnership. It becomes a dynamic where you recognize that your partner's well-being is your sacred duty, and yours is theirs. It's a total game changer.
So, we want to leave you with this question. If this journey from fortress to home resonates with you at all, what's one small, tangible vulnerability hack you could try, even today, to start proving to your own nervous system that it is, in fact, safe to be truly seen?
Hi, I'm John, and this is I Will Heal. Our curriculum features something for everyone. We know that your pathway to attachment transformation is specific to your parent. Whether you're an FA with a BA partner or an AD recently discarded by a BA, we have you covered. Say for a while, and we hope you'll say, even if for the first time, I will heal.